I screwed up. How do I even start this video? What the hell? We screwed up in Melbourne. We didn't do what we wanted. And what we wanted was something unachievable. So it turns out. I went down to Melbourne and I started this whole year with the goal in mind to hit a 310 kilo total to qualify me for the World Championships in October in Norway, but that didn't happen. We didn't even get close. The plan was to hit that total with 5 or 6 lifts. I only ended up hitting 1 lift. It was not a fun time, if I'm being honest. So the last few weeks, I've been back at training. It was a tough few days after the competition. It was my first ever bomb. It was my first ever time to not hit a total. So it was a brand new experience for me and a brand new experience for my coach because we came in with massive expectations, but we failed to consider the effects of dropping from about 88 kilos to 79 kilos in 3 months or 3.5 months. And I'll be honest, I've been struggling. The last few weeks have been tough since the competition. I have been back training, but I've felt pretty bad because I fell so short of the goals that I set myself at the start of the year. And I've been putting off making this video because thinking about it has made me a little stressed because I've had one goal this year. But that didn't happen. I fell short. I fell extremely short. And that's a hard thing to come to terms with when I've put in as much effort as I have. But it's okay. I think it's really important to remember that you're not going to hit every goal that you set yourself. And often the best way to progress and the best way to move forward is to have these failing moments, because now we get to learn and now we get to move on and we get to try again. So this video will be all about my time in Melbourne. I did film a bit of myself before I competed, and I did film a little after. Throughout this video, I'm going to be going over what went well in Melbourne, what didn't go well, and then what we can learn from moving forward. And with that being said, I hope you enjoy this little recap of my competition in Melbourne. Thursday, we're 80.4 kilos this morning. Let's go for a walk. There's a nice crispness in the air this morning. It's 18 degrees. That's nice. That's really nice. It's nice and cool. Hopefully not too sweaty this morning. I love this weather. Low fiber diet starts now. 3 eggs, 2 slices of white toast, and some mayo, and the coffee. Yum. What a beautiful day. It's a shame we're leaving Brisbane with this nice weather, but I'm almost done with my work for the day, and then I'm gonna head to the airport pretty soon. Me and Laura are almost done packing. We've got to try and fit all of my crap into the suitcase. I'm taking my Normatec boots and my weighing scales down, so it might be a mission to get it under 23 kilos, but we have to try. We're off. Airport time. We checked in, now we've got a little time to chill out. Who knows, might have a little drink. Got myself a beer, and Laura got a Coke, no sugar. Oh, just kidding. The beer is Laura's. That's mine. We've made it. Rental car. We out here in Melbourne, hiring a car. I'm gonna eat this yummy snack. And I'm allowed to. It's on the program. I'm meant to be eating this yummy snack. First Melbourne coffee experience of the trip. And we're making some eggs. Coffee review. Tastes like a skinny piccolo. Quite good.
The cafe we went to only had 3 stars on their Google. So it might be their food that sucks. But the coffee's good. And here's Laura's. It's a bit better than mine because it's got caramel in it. And another exciting news, I was 79.9 kilos this morning. That's the lightest I've been since 2019. We're on here. Only 900 grams to go. It's puppy time. Puppy time. Puppy time. Puppy time. Hi. Hi. We're out here. The coach is in town. We're here at CrossFit Hawthorn East for my session this morning. Got some light powers. Focus on speed. All right, let's hit it. Okay, session done at CrossFit Hawthorn East. Just some light powers. Very happy with how it went. My coach made it, which was great. So thanks to the owners at CrossFit Hawthorn East for having me. It's a great CrossFit gym. It reminds me of the one that I started in when I first started back in 2016. But yeah, all the work's done now. The only thing left to do is compete. And I can't bloody wait. So what's on for the rest of Friday? We'll be resting. I'm going for a little walk now. And then that's pretty much it. All I can do now is chill out. And I've got to go to the grocery shops tonight and do some cooking and prep my food for the next few days. Hell yeah. I'm so excited. Okay, that's it for now. It's time to explore Melbourne. In my Crocs. Best way to do it. It's Friday night and I realized I hadn't videoed any of my day after I said I would explore Melbourne. I didn't do a lot of exploring. I did a lot of laying around. I did a bit of walking, still got over 10,000 steps. Me and Laura checked into our Airbnb. We did some groceries. I bought everything for my comp day, so I have all my food now. I also bought some food for after the comp, which I'll show you. So this is pre-comp and post-comp. This one will have to be post-comp because I was meant to get white bread. I can't have fiber at the moment. This will be my lollies for the competition. And then these Tiny Teddies cereal. Are you serious? Teeny tiny Teddies. That's crazy. $3.50 at Woolies. I guess no one wanted them, so hopefully they taste good. Teeny Tiny Teddy's cereal update. I'm editing this video and realized I didn't put anything in. They suck. There's a reason why they're cheap. No one wants them because they're awful. Don't buy them. This is a PSA. 4-star health rating. So, athlete's food. And then, the piece de resistance. The Biscoff spread. I might be cheeky and have some of this after I weigh in, but nothing crazy. But this, plus this, these will be getting a massive run post-competition. I'm gonna be eating so much food after this comp. I'm so excited. I interrupt the Melbourne vlog to talk about what actually happened in Melbourne. So when I got home, I was feeling pretty down. I wasn't feeling the happiest after almost 4 months of work and failing to achieve the goals that I had set for myself. The first thing I did was wrote down 3 questions. And the first of those questions is, what went well? I find it really helpful when you do have a bad experience or a kind of moment of clarity where you don't reach a goal that you set yourself. I can find it really helpful to still give yourself a pat on the back because not everything is terrible. Even in the bad times, there are good things that happen and there are good things that you do, even if you fall short of your goal. So that was the first question that I wrote down. And I'm gonna go through them now. So the number one thing I think that went well was my weigh-in, was my weight cut. I started the year at 89 kilos or 90 kilos probably. And when I found out that the new weight class was 79 kilos, I immediately decided that that was gonna be what I attempt to compete at first, because my usual class was 81. And when the new classes came out at 79, I just assumed that that would be the best class for me. And I still think that's the case. So what I had to do from January to April was drop from 90 kilos to 79 kilos. And with the help of my dietitian and with the help of my girlfriend Laura and my family and my friends, and with a lot of hard work from myself, I've got to give myself a big pat on the back too, I was able to drop down to 78.8 kilos on the morning of the competition. And it was hard. It was a hard drop, but in the grand scheme of things, with all things considered from what happened in Melbourne, that was probably the simplest part of it. Now, the second thing that went well was my third snatch. The first 2 were terrible, but we'll get to them later. But my third snatch was solid as hell. I've been in this position, I think 2 times before, where I've missed my first 2 snatches, and it is one of the scariest positions to be in a weightlifting competition, because if you don't hit that lift, your day is over. So I missed my first 129 pretty badly, then I pressed out 130 on my second attempt, and then on my third attempt, I completely nailed 130 kilos. So much so that one of the officials saw me in the bathroom halfway through the session after the snatches, and he told me if I snatched my first snatch like the way I did my third one, I probably would have made all 3. And I agree with him. So thanks, Mr. Official from the bathroom. I really appreciate your words of encouragement there. Now, the third thing that went well was my first clean and jerk. Although I missed the jerk, I cleaned 171 kilos at 79 kilos body weight. And that's something that I've never done before. So I have to give myself a pat on the back for standing up 171 kilos when that is something I've never done before. And even though I missed it, I'm still happy that I cleaned it. And that gives me confidence for next time. And then the fourth thing that went well in Melbourne, I just really enjoyed the trip with Laura. I really enjoyed spending time with my girlfriend. Also, I saw a lot of my friends who live in Melbourne. So there's a sign up there that says Raw Dog, which is a nickname that I had from where I used to work. One of my mates that I used to work with made that sign for me. So I walked out on my second snatch and I saw it in the back of the room. That was just a pretty cool thing to see. I've never had someone make a sign for me like that. And to see them after I lifted and for them to still have really enjoyed the competition, even though I didn't do too well, was a really cool thing. And just catching up with them, eating good food, having some beers. It was just a really nice time in Melbourne. All right, that's enough from me. Back to Melbourne. Breakfast eggs.
flip these suckers. Yes. 79.4 this morning. I'm coming for you, 79. We're on. One more day.
We out here at a playground. We've made it. It is Sunday morning in Melbourne and it is competition day. We have woken up this morning 78.7 kilos. Can you believe it? I honestly can't. There's no need to sweat this morning. Everything's gone to plan. It's actually gone better than we planned. I started this week at 81.9 kilos. I've ended it at 78.7. Can't really believe that I was able to drop 3.2 kilos in just a week. I was pretty hungry this week, but I didn't expect to drop that much. I thought I'd have to do at least a little sweat this morning. And we're so far under 79, with 300 grams under, that I can have a bit of this. I can have a bit of chalky milk this morning. Weigh-in's at 9:30, so I've got 2.5 hours. Might go grab a coffee. But Melbourne is a little dead this morning. We're staying in Richmond and there's not much going on. None of the cafes seem to be open. Very unlike Brisbane. In Brisbane, the cafes are open from very early in the morning. So it's weird not seeing any open. Coffee shop update. None are open within a reasonable distance. I'll just wait until after I weigh in.
Here we go. This is my breakfast.
Yummy chalky milk. That's good stuff. We don't get Big M in Queensland anymore. But compared to Oak and Breaker, Big M, I think it's third tier. It's not as good. B tier milk. It is time to make our food for the competition. We've got bread, honey, peanut butter, and Biscoff. So all up, I've got 5 slices of bread in here. This is going to be my post weigh-in feed. I don't eat them all at once. I will have 2 or 3 straight after I weigh in, and then I will wait a bit and then have 2 more about an hour later. It is almost go time. It's 8 a.m. Weigh-in's at 9:30, so I've got an hour and a half. We'll probably leave here at 9 a.m. So I'll see you soon. Physique update this morning. 78.7 kilos still, even after my 200 grams of chalky milk. I'm feeling very different to how I felt when I was 81 kilos for my last competition in September in Fiji. I'll throw up a photo of what I looked like then. But what I look like now, I feel quite thick still, even though I'm 3 kilos lighter, and I don't feel as skinny as I did. And I think that's a great sign. So that's all for now. I might go and try and find a coffee. I'll see you later. Food bag, gym bag. We are packed and ready to go. Okay, we're weighed in 78.8 with the suit on. That's around 10 kilos in 3.5 months. So pretty big drop. So we'll see how we go today, but very happy. Now it's time to eat. I've already had my banana and my chalky milk. It looks pretty gross in there, but it was amazing. And then we're gonna get stuck into the sandwiches and just ordered a coffee as well. Got Jono, my coach, and Laura with me. Time to refeed, get hydrated before we get into it.
Rory's back in his bedroom and we're here to talk about what went wrong in Melbourne, because that was the second question that I wrote down when I was doing my reflecting. After having a look at what did go well, it's really important to analyze where you went wrong, because that's how you learn from it. First up, with what went wrong in Melbourne. I thought I could pull off something insane, and I didn't really appropriately respond to the situation. So what that means is I had 310 in my mind. That was all I was focusing on, and that was the only thing that mattered to me at that time. But I failed to consider the reality, which was I had just cut 10 kilos of body weight to get there. I probably hadn't done the training block that I needed to hit 310 because of the weight cut, and I didn't change my plan when things were going south in the warm-up room. Because I was so set on 310 and so set on this goal, I really screwed up, I think. I didn't listen to the reasonable voice in my head that could have said, hey, maybe 310 is literally impossible for you today. So let's take it back and hit something still really good, like 300, for example, and just be happy with that. I was like, nah, 310 or I die trying. My coach pulled me out of my last lift because he was worried about me hurting myself. So I'll give you a bit of a recap of what the back room was like and what led to me opening so heavy on both my snatch and my clean and jerk. Because I wanted to hit 310, I wanted to open up as close to 130 as possible and as close to 170 as possible on the clean and jerks. And with the way that the back room shaped out with the other lifters and what they were attempting, 129 was the most reasonable starting point for me to give myself the most time in the warm-up for my snatches, and same with 170 for my clean and jerk. And what's even more embarrassing is that I missed 165 kilos in the back room before I came out and tried to hit 170. And because of the way the competition was going at that point, I didn't have time to drop my opener. So I cleaned 165 in the back room, but I missed the jerk. Then I sat down for 2 minutes. So then I had to go out and attempt 171. And then what happened. I missed that. Then I missed 172. And then I didn't take my third attempt. Pretty much that is the biggest thing that went wrong for me, was the lack of a plan, really, and the lack of a reasonable voice in my head telling me what's realistic. And although that's a big negative for this competition, that's one of my biggest strengths, I think, is always having that voice in my head going, but what if you pull it off? But what if you make that lift? What if you exceed all of your expectations? And that's great, but when things aren't going well and you're not feeling it, and when there's literally no real way that I'm gonna hit the weight that I wanna hit, I need to change the plan, and I didn't do that. So that's on me, and that's a bit of a tough pill to swallow when you realize that you're just not good enough to do what you wanna do. But we move back to the vlog.
More. 127 kilograms, third attempt for
Rory. Yum.
Really annoying because you're like, oh, I just want to put all this stuff.
She's lost a lot of.
Shake it. They're both so
So how long have you been on a diet?
Oh yeah.
All year.
Yeah.
This is the first decent meal you've had. When I say decent, the first one that you haven't had to watch what you eat.
Kinda. Yeah.
It's kind of just been caloric restriction.
Oh,
So in
crazy.
the early
Yeah.
days, you can get away with it. You can time a good meal.
I'll have another
We were
bite.
talking about it
Yeah, me too.
with the big gap between the weight
Yeah.
classes. If you were naturally,
They still do the two-way?
How good is that? Yo, we out here eating square pizza and shit. We got wine. Final interruption, and the third question I asked myself after this time in Melbourne. What did you learn? So after you go through what went well and what didn't go well, the most important thing to ask yourself is, what did you learn from this experience? And for me, the main thing that I learned is that I need to nail my processes. And what that means is warm up correctly. That's something that I didn't do in Melbourne. I weighed in, my stomach felt a bit off, so I just tried to make myself feel as good as possible, and I just let the morning kind of play out. And I felt a little bit out of control of the situation because, like I said, my stomach wasn't feeling great. Things were happening that I wasn't really expecting. The warm-up room was warmer than I thought it was. My head was doing all sorts of things because I was worried about 310 and I was really nervous. And yeah, I just felt a little bit out of control. So I need to nail my processes so that I can control as much as I can and then relinquish the control of everything else up to the universe, up to the world to decide. I can't control everything, so I just need to do what I can to get in the zone and compete well. And the second thing that I learned is that things are going to happen that I don't like me missing lifts, like me not making a clean and jerk. These things happen, failures happen. Although I've never failed like this in a competition before, it was always gonna happen, and that's okay. When you're trying to push your limits, when you're trying to exceed these crazy goals, you're going to stumble at some point. I don't wanna say that like it's a negative thing, and I don't wanna sound like I'm just letting failure happen. I don't wanna fail. No one wants to fail. But to think that you never will is a little bit naive. And I don't want to go out there and hit something that I'm not proud of. So I'd rather fail in the pursuit of something incredible than succeed in something mediocre. Now, the third thing that I learned, and this is something that I've said before this competition, so I knew it. It was in my head. It was in this stupid little brain of mine. But I still let my ego take over. And the thing that I learned is that you need to earn the right to lift heavy. You need to earn the right to go big at a competition. And for this one, I just didn't earn that right. Say if I had lifted incredibly in training and hit my openers and my second attempts consistently in training, then yes, for sure, I'd earned the right to go as heavy as I did. But I didn't do that. Or on the flip side, if I hit my opener and my second attempts super simply, I'd go to my coach and be like, let's up this third attempt, let's have a crack. And that's completely fine because I'd earned the right to go that heavy. But this time, I didn't, and I just tried to take it, and I don't think I deserved it. And what happened, and I can't really complain. I just have to cop that one on the chin and try and be better next time. Now, the final thing that I learned from this competition in Melbourne is that every failure is a lesson. And what you have to do is to keep moving and keep learning. No matter how hard you work, no matter what you do, no matter how badly you want to achieve what you want,
What's meant to happen is going to happen. And you'll get there eventually. You'll get to where you're meant to be at some point in your life. It could be next week, it could be next month, it could be years down the track. But every failure that you make between now and then is going to help you get there. So if you've gained anything from this video, the one thing that I want you to remember is that every failure is a lesson. And it's so, so important to be kind to yourself, especially in these moments. And that's a big thing that I've learned. And it's something that I'm still learning. I don't think I'll ever finish learning how important it is to be kind to yourself, because if you have high standards, it's gonna be hard to meet them, and you're gonna fall over, you're gonna stumble, you're gonna fall short, but that is okay, because there will always be another chance and you'll always get to try again. And even if there's not another chance, that's okay, because the sun will still come up tomorrow and it will still set at night and you will still be alive. Until you're not, but I don't have time to go into the idea of coming to terms with your own mortality today. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I've really enjoyed making this video and going over everything that I've learned from in Melbourne. I'm back competing in 2 weeks' time because I need to make a total before May 11th if I want to be back on the Australian team this year. That's all from me today. I will see you in the next video.